Is the ACC actually serious? Do they really think that potentially adding Stanford and California to the conference is equivalent to the same moves that the Big Ten has made recently with their acquisitions? If this is the case, Clark, take it away.
We're at the threshold of hell.
Yep, we are. If you're in the ACC right now and you think that any of this is a good move, don't tell me their reason behind it. It does not make sense. I'm going to get into that in just a second. Hey, I'm Brian Knight. I am not Bobby Durkins. If you're brand new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification. I will go ahead and tell you that it's free. It's free. So, it'd be different if I was like digging around in your bank account saying, give me $30 per month. But I do appreciate you joining me on this live stream. So we know that last week, Oregon and Washington joined the Big Ten. It's so funny. I read an article the morning that Oregon and Washington joined, and I read an article. I can't remember who it was from, but I read it. It was not just somebody else. It was like, I don't know, Fox or Athlon or something like that, who said that the deal had fell apart, that Oregon was not. It didn't mention Washington. It said Oregon was not going in. Then later that day, Oregon and Washington, they joined. Now, if this was the Andrew Luck, Christian McCaffrey, I could understand, or the Christian McCaffrey Stanford team, I could totally understand the ACC trying to go after them. Now, I'm going to have to try to make this very clear to you folks. There's some of you still get in my comment section. You've been commenting on my other videos, and you've been saying stuff like this. This is crazy. This is not PlayStation. They're not going to change up all of these divisions, and these are not divisions, conferences, and just add teams no matter where they're at. And I'm sitting here going, are you under a rock? Did you not hear about South Carolina? Or not South Carolina. Y'all, I'm sorry. I need more coffee. University of Southern California and UCLA and now Washington and Oregon, they're now part of the Big Ten. Except for the Southeast, the Big Ten has a team on every stretch of the United States, in the coast, in the Midlands, the Midwest, with Nebraska, all the way to Rutgers. And I know somebody's going to say, well, Maryland is not considered a Southern state, folks. If you tell a person from Maryland that they are part of a Southern state, they will beg you not to. So the whole idea of tradition and geographical location in relation to a conference, those days are gone. So stop talking about it. Stop talking about it. You can keep talking about it all you want to. You're just living in a fairyland. California and Stanford, they are fantastic by rating. Educational institutions by ranking. But this is about a super conference. This is about becoming a powerful football conference. The SEC has made their moves. The Big Ten has really made their moves. They've diversified their viewership among the Peacock Network with NBC, Fox, CBS. And the ACC looks at each other and goes, "Hey, we've got to make a move. All right, we're going to make a move. What are we doing? Who are we going after?" Stanford and California. Excuse me? The Big 12 went after Utah and Colorado and Arizona State. If I misspoke there on one of those schools there in Arizona, please forgive me. That's what the eight. Now, this is not a done deal, but they are meeting. Now, I'm reading this. You're saying, source. I want a source. Give me a source. And then I want a source for your source. CBS Sports. This is one that I'll throw this in the comment section. You can read that for yourself. They're just meeting. But that they would even meet is hilarious. This is not Marshawn Lynch, Aaron Rodgers, or Deshaun Jackson, California. So supposedly they met at 10 a.m. this morning. Supposedly. I mean, at least the Big 12 made a move. That makes sense to a point. Folks, this lets you know that just because someone has a PhD or a master's degree, or they graduated from a really good school, they may be smart in so many other areas of life, but they have no clue what they're doing right here. This is awful. This lets me know that whoever helped create this stupid, unbelievable, terrible contracts that everybody keeps talking about, the grant of rights and all this bunch of stuff, that they did not learn from this. They didn't learn from it. They didn't step back and go, whoa, we should not have went along with this. Oh no, they're doubling down with not poor decisions, awful decisions. And I was just in San Francisco at the beginning of the year. And no offense to the people there, but they could care less about college football. In fact, I've talked to some friends of mine who were at the national championship when Clemson beat Alabama 44-16 with Trevor Lawrence, that national championship. And that was held there in San Francisco. In the entire city, very few people knew that a college football national championship was going on. That's how much they don't care about college football. And the ACC has this pea-brained idea, while the Big Ten is making historical move after historical move really fast. The SEC has been making slower moves over time. But I mean, to go get Oklahoma and Texas and bring them into the SEC, and then the ACC goes, we know what to do. We've got an ace up our sleeve. We're going to shock the world. Oh, who are you going to get? Who are you going to go after? Are you going to go after an SEC school? See if they're tired of living in the shadow of Alabama and Georgia? No. Are you? Oh, whoa, hold on. Are you going to go like towards the Midwest and try to take it? No, even better than that. Oh, good grief! How can you get better than that? California and Stanford. Tell me you don't know college football without telling me you don't know college football. I mean, I sit here and I read this trash and I shake my head. And then what's interesting is I sit and I read my comment section. And the majority of my comment section, whether you're from a different fan base or not, overall agrees with me. Yes, it's terrible that the traditional conferences have fallen apart. It's gone. It's like the home phone. It's gone. Why have a home phone with that stretchy 75-foot cord that you can walk around the house, go outside, take down to the grocery store, and come back, when you have a cell phone that you're already paying for. I remember that change, folks. That was like unbelievable when people were like, yeah, I don't even have a home phone anymore. Well, why? Why would I? I have a phone that goes everywhere with me. Oh, and now that phone is a camera. I can manage my bank account off of that thing. I can message my doctor through an app. I can check my emails. What's email? I mean, I remember that change, folks. You don't need a home phone anymore. Traditional conferences are gone. Accept it. I don't want to accept it. I want Ohio State and Michigan in the Big Ten. I want Clemson in a Southern-based conference. I want the Pacific West Coast teams over there. I want Nebraska and Colorado playing the day after Thanksgiving. I want this. But you know what? It's gone. A bunch of you need to let go. It's over. But what you also need to accept is that the same people who made the terrible decisions with the ACC grant of rights and terrible contracts, and people were making deals that doesn't even make sense, while other conferences, man, they were like, not so fast there, Slick, back up. We're not doing that. We can get way more money. Well, and they did it. The ACC is showing us once again, they're out to make more dumb moves. Folks, if you like this video, pass it along to your friends and neighbors. Even if they love or hate Clemson, pass it along. I have more videos coming up. I just did a preview on the Clemson, their team, their season coming up. Also on Alabama, also on Georgia. I did preview Clemson's first opponent, Duke, because that's a very interesting deal. But pass this along. Do subscribe if you haven't already and hit the thumbs up. I'm Brian Knight, and even with all this insanity, we can still say, go Tigers. Catch you soon.